Okay, today you're going to be giving some peer review, so I wanted to talk about how you're going to give that feedback. So everyone will have, you need to put a link to your project. So I'm going to imagine that this is my project. I'm going to put a link to my project there. Then, in a moment, you're going to share this document with some classmates for feedback. So now I'm going to pretend like I'm the peer reviewer. So I get this document from my partner. Thank you, Elisa and Maria. You're my partners. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read and look through their project draft. They might have a script. They may have started an infographic. People are going to be in different places. So you're going to give feedback on what you see. And the first thing I'm going to do is, what do I notice? So that's column 2. What do I notice? Do they have topics from multiple categories? Is there just one topic? Does it have a few topics? Does it have topics from all categories? So I go to this project, and what I see is it has a topic about society, the Magna Carta and laws. This has to do with politics, and this has to do with economics. So what I see is that they have a few topics. And it says I should underline that, so I'm going to underline that. And I'm going to go ahead and write the comment that, like, can maybe add a category for culture, because then they would have topics from all categories. So now I'm going to go on to this next section. How do they describe the systems? So I go back here, and it says that crime rates were high in the Middle Ages because people were thrown in jail without reason and it was unsafe. Common crimes were theft that often occurred in the night. Then they have about the Magna Carta, a foundation of monarchs and nobles. Without the Magna Carta, people didn't have many rights or liberties. Guilds and economics, a professional group of merchants or craftspeople. So what I notice is that they have some description, and the topics mostly make sense. But if I was to give some feedback here, what about these don't make sense? Like, for example, they said thrown in jail without lawful reasons and it was unsafe. What was unsafe? The jails were unsafe? Here it says a foundation of monarchs and nobles agreed for English people rights and freedom. So I know it happened in England, but for example, it doesn't tell me when. And here it says a professional group of merchants who had set up prices. But I have some questions like, when was the Magna Carta signed? By which king? What made prisons unsafe? So I've just given a couple details that might help them describe these topics even more clearly. Notice I'm using these. What made prisons unsafe? What do you mean by? So then terminology. So when I'm looking here for terminology, Magna Carta, that's terminology. The word guild, that's terminology. And here it even explains what a guild is, a professional group of merchants. Here it says the Magna Carta was a foundation. It was actually a document. But what I noticed, for example, maybe there isn't any vocabulary here. So again, on my review guide, I'm going to say there was some vocabulary and some items are clear. And then again, I would give feedback. You continue like this. Then it gets into ideas and inventions. Again, I'm looking here. It says a royal jury was introduced. This is something that's a new idea. The Magna Carta is considered a new idea for the Middle Ages. And then this one has the printing press. So what I see is that yes, they have included inventions. They have 2 to 3 inventions ideas, and they give some description. Again, I would make comments. This is the gist of how you're going to do this feedback. Make sure that you're giving them questions that will help them to make their project better.